A young man named Bishr trusted Muhammad as his prophet. It cost him his life. Let's continue our logic tutorial with another example of the argument form called modus tollens. This example comes from Muhammad's faithful companion Bishr. You'll recall from our last logic tutorial / thrashing of the most obvious false prophet in history that the argument form modus tollens is if A, then B, not B, therefore not A. For instance, if Fido is a dog, then Fido is a mammal. Fido is not a mammal, therefore Fido is not a dog. The story about a Jewish woman preparing a poisoned meal for Muhammad after Muhammad's followers slaughtered her family in the name of Allah is found throughout the Muslim sources. Various versions of the story frequently mention a companion named Bishr who died after he ate some of the poison. Some versions of the story make it sound as if Bishr died almost immediately, while other versions claim that he survived for up to a year and that he was extremely ill until his death. Different versions of the story also disagree on whether Muhammad preferred the foreleg or the shoulder of the roasted animal, and on whether the poisoned animal was a sheep or a goat. This sheep or goat confusion is fairly common in the Muslim sources, as when some sources claim that the lost verses of Surah 33 were eaten by a sheep, while others claim that they were eaten by a goat. In the following passage from Ibn Sa'd, we learn that as soon as Bishr put the poisoned food in his mouth, he could taste the poison. The food was so thoroughly soaked in poison that he could taste it as soon as he took a bite. But Bishr didn't spit out the food because he saw Muhammad eating it. Let's read. Ibn Sa'd, Volume 2, pages 251 to 252. When the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, conquered Khaybar and he had peace of mind, Zaynab bint al-Harith, the brother of Marhab, who was the spouse of Salam ibn Mishkam, inquired, "Which part of the goat is liked by Muhammad?" They said, "The foreleg." Then she slaughtered one from her goats and roasted it, the meat. Then she wanted a poison which could not fail. The Jews discussed about poisons and became united on one poison. She poisoned the she-goat by putting more poison on the forelegs and shoulder. When the sun had set and the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, returned after leading the people in Maghrib sunset prayers, she sat by his feet. He asked about her. She said, "O Abu al-Qasim." She called him Abu al-Qasim, which means father of Qasim, because Muhammad had a son named Qasim who died when he was 3 years old. It was perfectly normal to call someone the father of so-and-so, but this woman's father, uncle, and husband had just been slaughtered by Muhammad's followers, so she might have meant something more sinister by calling Muhammad the father of a dead son. So she says, "Here is a present which I wish to offer to you." The Prophet, may Allah bless him, ordered it to be taken, because it's always a brilliant idea to accept a gift from a woman whose family you just slaughtered. It was served to him and to his companions who were present, and among those who were present was Bishr ibn al-Bara ibn Marur. Then the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, said, "Come closer and have night meal." The Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, took the foreleg, a piece of which he put into his mouth. Bishr ibn al-Bara took another bone and put it into his mouth. When the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, ate one morsel of it, Bishr ate his, and other people also ate from it. Then the Apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, said, "Hold back your hands, because this foreleg," and according to another version, the shoulder of the goat, "has informed me that it is poisoned." Thereupon Bishr said, "By him who hath made you great, I discovered it from the morsel I took. Nothing prevented me from emitting it out, but the idea that I did not like to make your food unrelishing. When you had eaten what was in your mouth, I did not like to save my life after yours, and I also thought you would not have eaten it if there was something wrong. Bishr did not rise from his seat, but his color changed to that of Telsan, a green cloth. For a year, the pain did not permit him to change his sides, but with the help of others, and then he expired. According to another version, he died before leaving his seat. He, Ibn Sa'd said, a piece of it was dropped before a dog who ate it and died instantaneously without being able to move its foreleg. The apostle of Allah sent for Zainab bint al-Harith and said to her, "What induced you to do what you have done?" She replied, "You have done to my people what you have done. You have killed my father, my uncle, and my husband. So I said to myself, if you are a prophet, the foreleg will inform you. And others have said, if you are a king, we will get rid of you." The Jewess returned as she had come. He, Ibn Sa'd, said, "The apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, handed her over to the heirs of Bishr ibn al-Bara, who put her to death." Notice, Bishr could taste the poison as soon as he put the lamb or goat in his mouth. Muhammad said, "It has informed me that it's poisoned." Bishr replied, "I discovered it from the morsel I took." He could taste it. Why did he keep eating? Multiple reasons. One, he didn't want to make Muhammad's food unrelishing. So he didn't want to start yelling about the food being poisoned, because if he was wrong, he would ruin Muhammad's dinner. Two, he didn't want to save his own life if Muhammad died from the poison. Three, and most importantly, he thought Muhammad wouldn't have eaten it if there was something wrong. In other words, Bishr thought to himself, if Muhammad is a true prophet, he won't eat poisoned food. Why would he think that? Because, as we saw in our last video, Allah promised to protect Muhammad in Surah 5, verse 67 of the Quran. Looks like a solid premise, but there's a problem because Muhammad did eat some of the poisoned food. He spit most of it out, but he swallowed enough of the poisoned lamb or goat that it eventually killed him. This means we have our second premise. Muhammad did eat poisoned food. And this is why people need to know the basics of logic. Bishr believed, premise 1, if Muhammad is a true prophet, he won't eat poisoned food. And he found out rather quickly, premise 2, Muhammad did eat poisoned food. So, he should have recognized the obvious conclusion. Muhammad is not a true prophet. 1-2, modus tollens. Why did Bishr die? He died because he trusted Muhammad. He could literally taste the poison in his mouth, but he didn't spit it out, because he trusted his prophet more than he trusted his sense of taste. My sense of taste is telling me that this food is poisoned, but there's no way it's poisoned because Muhammad's eating it, and he's a prophet. Bishr's faith in Muhammad got him killed. But even as his skin was turning green from the poison, Bishr had everything he needed to figure out that Muhammad was a false prophet. The death penalty for apostasy was irrelevant because he was already dying, so he should have said, as he was dying, "Hey, wait a minute, Muhammad. If I can't trust you with my dinner, I definitely can't trust you with my salvation. If you can't figure out what's waiting for us in our food, how could you possibly know what's waiting for us in the afterlife?"
It just backfired on me. It just backfired on me. This is a part of a religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah?